He drank too much, fought too often, slept with strangers, lived in roach motels, and somehow wrote poetry that cracked people open. Charles Bukowski didn't try to be profound. He just told the truth, raw, ugly, vulgar truth. And in a world drowning in lies that made him sacred. They called him the laureate of American lowlife. But Charles Bukowski wasn't just a drunk or a degenerate. He was a prophet of the ordinary. He wrote not about gods or philosophies, but about broken toilets, dead-end jobs, lost women, empty nights, and the wild hope that somehow it still might be worth it. Born Heinrich Karl Bukowski in 1920 in Germany, he arrived in America as a child and grew up in Los Angeles. His father beat him mercilessly. His schoolmates mocked him for his acne-covered face. He once said, "I had no confidence, no identity. I was a walking chunk of emptiness." By his 20s, Bukowski had dropped out of college, worked in a pickle factory, and was already drinking heavily. His life was a string of flop houses, gas stations, post offices, and bar stools. This wasn't an aesthetic, it was survival. But out of this gutter came a voice so unique, so brutal, that it shook the literary world awake. Bukowski didn't write like a poet. He wrote like a man bleeding on a paper. Short lines, no metaphors, just pain, piss, and poetry. His style came to be known as dirty realism, writing that refuses to dress itself up. In his words, "We are here to drink beer. We are here to kill war. We are here to laugh at the odds and live our lives so well that death will tremble to take us." Every Bukowski poem is a slap to the face. Every story, a middle finger to pretentiousness. He wrote about what others wouldn't touch. The loneliness of laundromats, the futility of 9 to 5 jobs, the ugliness of sex, the boredom of living. But through it all, he found something sacred. Though Bukowski rejected academia and philosophy, he lived his own version of it. His was a philosophy of survival, of defiance, of enduring pain without decoration. He once said, "What matters most is how well you walk through the fire." This is where Bukowski becomes more than a writer. He becomes a philosopher of the underdog. To him, pain is inevitable. Beauty is rare. Most lives are brutal and short, but that's no excuse to surrender. He admired those who endured, quietly, angrily, and with poetry in their pockets. Bukowski didn't hide behind fiction. He wore it like a cracked mirror. His alter ego, Henry Chinesky, is him, but worse. Chinesky is a womanizer, a drunk, a gambler, a nihilist, but he's also honest, observant, and deeply human. In novels like Post Office, Factotum, and Women, we meet the Bukowski that society rejected, and the Bukowski that millions quietly loved. Bukowski wrote of love like a man who never expected to find it. Most of his romances were temporary, broken, or volatile. But his poems spoke of longing so desperate it would rip your chest open. He wrote, "Love is a fog that burns with the first daylight of reality." He didn't believe in fairy tales. He believed in nights spent alone, staring at the ceiling, hoping someone might call. He believed in love as war, bloody, unbalanced, and worth every wound. Fame didn't soften Bukowski, it annoyed him. He hated readings, critics, and anyone who tried to put him on a pedestal. He called poets phonies, literature professors frauds, and himself just a guy who got lucky. Despite being published by Black Sparrow Press and having thousands of loyal readers, Bukowski remained cynical. He said, "I don't hate people. I just feel better when they aren't around." But the truth is he cared deeply. He just didn't know how to say it. So he wrote instead. Bukowski died in 1994 from leukemia. His gravestone reads 2 words, "Don't try." To many, that seems like defeatism. But he once explained, "Don't try. Just do. Don't force it. Let it come." His legacy isn't in awards or institutions. It's in every lonely night someone finds one of his books and suddenly feels understood. He didn't offer hope. He offered reality. And in that reality, a strange kind of hope emerges. The hope that if you're honest, if you endure, If you create something real, it might just matter. Bukowski reminds us that life doesn't have to be pretty to be worth it, that art doesn't need approval to be powerful, that even the broken, the drunk, the ignored can touch eternity with a single line of truth. So, what will you write in the margins of your life? What truth will you tell when no one's watching? You have to die a few times before you can really live. Charles Bukowski died every day in his poems, and through that, he taught us how to live. If this dive into Bukowski's world moved you, like this video, share it with someone who needs to hear the truth, and subscribe for more explorations into the minds that dared to see the world differently. And if you're struggling, pour yourself a drink, grab a pen, and remember Bukowski's words. Find what you love and let it kill you.